This is the Chiropractic Marketing Podcast, an on-demand talk radio show that covers internet marketing best practices for chiropractors. I'm your host, Dr. Patrick McNamara. Welcome, everyone, to episode number 59 of the Chiropractic Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Patrick McNamara, and today we're making an important shift in our series. Over the past several weeks, we've been diving deep into Tier 1 fundamentals, building that rock-solid foundation with your Google business profile, citations, content creation, reviews, and performance tracking. But today we're bridging into Tier 2 territory by talking about website optimization for local search. And I'm going to show you how to extend your success beyond just your Google business profile to start capturing patients who are searching for specific conditions and treatments. Here's why this matters so much. Your Google business profile is absolutely critical for showing up in those local map results when someone searches for chiropractor near me or chiropractor in your city. But there's a whole other category of searches happening that your Google business profile alone can't capture. And these are often the highest intent patients you could possibly attract. Think about it this way. Someone searching for best chiropractor near me is in research mode. They're looking at options, comparing practices, and they might call 3 or 4 different offices before making a decision. But someone searching for sciatica treatment in your city or sports injury chiropractor near me, that person knows exactly what they need. They're not shopping around as much. They're looking for a specialist who can solve their specific problem, and if your website shows up as the answer to their search, you're going to convert that patient at a much higher rate. The challenge is that your Google business profile, even when it's perfectly optimized, isn't designed to rank for all these condition-specific and treatment-specific searches. That's where your website comes in, and that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. Now, before we dive into the specific strategies, I want to make something really clear. Everything I'm about to share with you builds on the Tier 1 fundamentals we've been covering. If your Google business profile isn't optimized, if you're not managing your citations, if you're not generating reviews, you need to get those things handled first. Don't skip ahead. The practices that succeed with Tier 2 strategies are the ones that have already mastered Tier 1. That foundation matters. So let's talk about what website optimization for local search actually means. At its core, we're talking about creating and optimizing pages on your website that target specific search queries patients are using in your local area. We're combining local intent with condition-specific intent, and when you do this right, you can absolutely dominate your market. The first thing you need to understand is that your homepage alone isn't going to cut it anymore. Your homepage is important, don't get me wrong, but it's typically optimized for general searches like chiropractor in your city. What you need are dedicated condition pages that target those specific searches patients are making. Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you're a chiropractor in Portland, Oregon, and you want to attract more patients dealing with back pain. You need a dedicated page on your website specifically about back pain treatment in Portland. Not just a paragraph on your services page, not just a brief mention on your homepage, a comprehensive, dedicated page that speaks directly to someone searching for back pain treatment Portland or Portland chiropractor for lower back pain. Here's what needs to be on that page. You want to start with content that addresses the patient's pain points, literally and figuratively. Talk about the common causes of back pain, the symptoms they might be experiencing, and why they shouldn't just ignore it or try to tough it out. Then you transition into your approach, explaining how chiropractic care specifically addresses back pain and what makes your treatment methods effective. Include information about what patients can expect during their visits, and make sure you're weaving in those local references naturally. You're not just a chiropractor who treats back pain. You're a Portland chiropractor who understands the specific needs of Portland residents dealing with back pain. The key here is comprehensive content that actually helps the patient understand their condition and how you can help them. Google rewards pages that thoroughly answer the searcher's question, and patients respond to content that makes them feel understood and confident in your expertise. Now let's talk about the technical side for just a minute, because there are some specific local SEO elements you need to include on these condition pages. You want your practice name, address, and phone number visible on every page. You want your city and surrounding areas mentioned naturally throughout the content. You want schema markup that tells search engines this is a local business page, and you want internal linking between your condition pages and your main location pages. I know some of this might sound technical, and that's okay. If you're working with someone like our team at DCRank, we handle all of this for you. But I want you to understand the strategy, even if you're not implementing it yourself, because understanding the why behind these tactics helps you make better marketing decisions overall. Here's another important element most chiropractors miss. You need dedicated location pages if you serve multiple cities or neighborhoods. Let's stick with our Portland example. If you're located in downtown Portland, but you also get patients from Beaverton, Hillsborough, and Lake Oswego, you should have dedicated pages for each of those locations. These aren't just duplicate content pages. Each one is optimized specifically for that location with unique content that speaks to patients in that area. On your Beaverton page, you might talk about serving the Beaverton community, mention nearby landmarks or neighborhoods, discuss the specific needs of Beaverton residents based on common occupations or activities in that area. You're creating localized, relevant content that helps both Google and potential patients understand that you're the right choice for their specific location. The beauty of this approach is that you're not competing head-to-head with every chiropractor in the entire Portland metro area for every single search. You're becoming the specialist for specific conditions and specific locations, which dramatically increases your chances of ranking and converting. Now, I want to give you a quick action step you can take this week. Pick your top 3 most common conditions. Maybe it's back pain, neck pain, and headaches. Look at your website right now. Do you have comprehensive, dedicated pages for each of these conditions that are optimized for your local area? If the answer is no, that's your starting point. You don't need to create all of these pages overnight. Start with one. Create the most comprehensive, helpful page about that condition that you possibly can. Write it like you're explaining it to a patient in your office. Include photos of your practice, testimonials from patients who had that specific condition, and clear calls to action for scheduling an appointment. If you're not a writer or you don't have time to create this kind of content, that's exactly what we help practices with at DCRank. We build these optimized condition pages and location pages as part of our Tier 2 services, and we do it in a way that not only ranks well, but actually converts visitors into patients. Here's what I want you to remember from today's episode. Your Google business profile gets you into the local map results, but your website is what captures all those condition-specific, treatment-specific searches that represent some of your highest quality potential patients. By creating dedicated, comprehensive pages for your most common conditions and your service locations, you're expanding your reach and attracting patients who are actively searching for exactly what you provide. Next week, we're going deeper into Tier 2 strategies by talking about technical local SEO for your website. I'm going to walk you through the behind-the-scenes elements that help search engines understand your website is a relevant, trustworthy local business. Things like schema markup, page speed optimization, and mobile responsiveness. These might sound intimidating, but I'm going to break them down into simple, actionable steps you can understand and implement. Until then, take action on creating or improving at least one condition page on your website. Remember, Tier 2 is all about extending what you've built in Tier 1. Master the fundamentals first, then expand strategically. All right, that wraps things up for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Chiropractic Marketing Podcast. Before you go, remember to subscribe to my podcast on your favorite platform, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Audible, YouTube podcasts, Spotify, or others, I've got you covered. If you need to see a full list of supported platforms, simply visit chiropracticmarketingpodcast.com. Last but certainly not least, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Apple Podcasts. Your reviews not only help build awareness of what I'm talking about, but also give me a good indication of how I'm doing. Be nice, be fair, but definitely be honest. I would greatly appreciate it, and so will future listeners. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.